welcome to this week's Tiny Table Talk for The Challenge, Season 36, Episode 9. We have hit the midpoint of the season. So in honor of that, we're going to be doing a special mid-season review of Tiny Table Talk for this week. We're going to be looking into who's left in the game, who's most likely going to make it to the finals, who's probably going to not make it to the finals. We're going to give grades to the daily challenges that have happened so far on this season. We're also going to have a breakdown of the mid-season trailer that we got at the end of this past week's episode. And also, we're going to be getting into some comments from my Thursday's review and recap. That's a lot to go over, but we're going to get right into it with grades and accolades. Now, before we get into the grades and performances, let's get a quick refresher of who's left in the game and who they're partnered up with. We have Cam and Kyle, Leroy and Casey, Anissa and Fessy, Big T and CT, Darrell and Amber B, Devin and Gabby, Josh and Nani, Lolo and Nam, Corey and Amber M. Now, taking a look at this list, thinking back to what happened in the first part of the season, thinking to the super trailer, looking into the mid-season trailer, I have to say that I'm 98% sure that everyone who is partnered up with their person right now will not be partnered up with them at the end of the season. I just don't see it whatsoever. I think Leroy and Casey maybe have the best shot of being partnered up with each other to the final. However, I think that more than likely, somebody's going to either steal Leroy or Casey. And I also don't think that if they get stolen from each other, that Leroy or Casey is just going to jump back into the elimination to try to win and get back with each other. So that's my thought process of who's going to be possibly partnered up with each other by the end of the season. I just do not see it happening. I think there's going to be a lot of reshuffling happening towards the end of the season. Now, I have 5 categories that I put everybody in individually, and I have the categories as most likely making the finals, most likely to lose their skulls, most likely to get a skull, uphill battle but has a chance, and little to no chance. All right, so we're going to start off with most likely making it to the finals, and these are from the 8 players that already have their gold skulls, and I don't see them going back into the elimination or people trying to take a shot at them before the finals. And those 4 people that I have in this category is Cam, Leroy, Fessy, and Casey. And the next category we have is most likely to lose their skulls, and these are the other 4 players that already have their skulls and who people will look to steal from them, and that is Josh, Devin, Kyle, and Anissa. I hate to say it for Anissa because I thought she was done dirty last season, but I think if the women are going to steal someone's skull, Anissa is going to be the first one on their list. Also, you have to think about the guys, and will they want to run the finals with Anissa? That's another play on it. The next one is most likely to get a skull. Now, I have CT, Darrell, Corey, and Amber B in this category. Now, I know CT has speculated earlier on that possibly maybe people are trying to keep him out of the elimination, but I remember in the super trailer that we do see him in like an elimination at some point. So I feel as though that he's gonna at least get his shot, and he's been talking a lot about wanting to go after Josh, give him the goof. So I see him possibly going down and getting his skull. The same with Darrell, Corey, and Amber B. The next one is uphill battle but has a chance, and the 4 people that I have in this category is Big T, Gabby, Nani, and Nam. Now, this is the players that I feel as though will want to go down and get their skulls, will want to have an opportunity, but there's a huge question mark on whether they will be able to perform and get their gold skull. I think these players will have to have a good matchup to get their gold skulls. I'm really wanting Nam, but we saw him in the pole wrestle against CT, and he just did not seem like he had that fervor in him. If he goes up against a vet, I could see him losing. Nani has not won a solo elimination in her challenge career, so that's why there's a big question mark. And finally, little to no chance, I have Lolo and Amber M. Amber M has been on the chopping block. I feel as though her time is coming. I feel as though that something could happen with Lolo, and I really just don't think that she's going to perform well to get into the elimination and even win. So now let's go into the daily challenges and what I have as grades for them. Looking at daily challenge number 1, mission decryption, I have as a B+. I thought it was a good first daily challenge. We have I Spy next, which I gave a hard C-, just for the sole fact that people were standing around not knowing what to do with their missiles once they had it at one point. Roadkill, A-. I thought this was a great one. The minus is because of how many injuries it sustained. The next one is drone control, D. Good on paper, not so good in execution. I would have given this an F. Realistically, I think this could be a D- or an F in my opinion. The next one we have is Agent Down, which I gave a B. I thought that was actually pretty solid. The next one we have is Smuggle Run, which I gave an A+. This one, they knocked it out of the park. It was a mini final. People were giving it their all. I thought this was a great opportunity, and it signified who's working well together and who doesn't work well together, who's ready for the final and who's not. Aerial takedown, C-. Cargo, everyone holding on to the cargo net. I think I'm being too generous with this one, but I thought that Amber B really saved this one, and the Heat one for the girls really saved this one. All Brawl, A-. Everyone got in that mud. Everyone was giving it their all. Everyone was fighting. There was a lot of great stuff. I think the minus comes later down the line where it kind of gets muddied, pun intended, at the end where it was CT and Big T having to go up against Cam and Kyle. It just kind of like, up to that point, it was really, really good, and then all of a sudden it got to that point, and I just was like, all right, that's a little bit of a wrench being thrown in there, especially with Aerial Takedown being pretty much a solo game, and the same with Interrogation, which Interrogation I gave a C- as well. Normally, I love the trivia. TJ's laugh really helped propel this in the C range. However, it was true and false. Why was it all true and false questions? That's so boring to me. But that's all the grades I gave for the daily challenges so far. What do you think about that? Let me know that in the comment section below. What are your grades that you give to these daily challenges? But now let's move on to the mid-season trailer breakdown. All right, so let's just dive right into this. Like the trailer does, it's a skydive. Ba-doom-tsh. That's right, I'm bringing the jokes, I'm bringing the puns. And we see that somebody is jumping out of this plane. You really can't tell who it is from this scene, but from the super trailer, I remember seeing Big T and CT in the plane, getting ready to jump out of it. So this could be maybe the finals or close to the finals. They normally do this kind of stuff later on in the season. So now we move on to the daily challenge where they're on the helicopter and they're two people holding onto ropes with this helicopter. You really can't tell from how far they are away, but just looking at their figures, it could be Cam and Kyle, but when we move on to the next one, we can clearly see that this is Leroy and Casey as they are falling into the water. Then we get to a cage daily challenge where we have seen people tied up or handcuffed to each other, and then they are eating something within these cages. Just from looking at this angle, I feel as though on the left-hand side, we can see that there is Cam and Kyle. Up at the front, we can see Casey and possibly Leroy. Over on the right-hand side, we have Amber B. And I feel in the middle, you can see CT's head. Anissa and Fessy are clearly in this one, as we can see. I feel that this is possibly the next daily challenge. When I count the people in this scene, I count 18 people. It's either 18 or 17 people if I'm miscounting. So this is going to be the next daily challenge, either next one or the one after. And then boom, here's everyone running to it. We can see Amber B, Darrell, Kyle, Cam, Lolo, Nam. The next shot we have is of Cam. We can clearly see that is Cam and a partner holding a briefcase. To me, if I'm looking at this, I feel as though that this could possibly be a shot from the finals. Look, they're walking. It looks to be a long road. It looks to be a long walk. Could this be like they have to hold onto a briefcase and transport it to the finish line, and the first team to do that will win the finals? That's what I'm seeing. So Cam made it with a partner. We don't know if that's Kyle or not. Then we have Fessy in a cave, and I think he was chained up or something. He's wearing one of those like spelunking light fixtures on his helmet. We had some audio cues. We have Leroy saying name of the game is to get your skulls. Anissa saying I just want to get to the finals. And now we have this soundbite from Big T and CT. And Big T says you're a liar. CT says I didn't lie, I broke a promise. Now to me, I'm thinking back to the party scene when after the whole all brawl fiasco where he was yelling about having Big T as a partner and how she would never win against Cam in a pole wrestle. And they made that pact saying that if we go down and get our skulls, we're gonna stick together. To me, this signifies that CT at some point goes down to the crater floor, gets his gold skull, and then picks another partner and leaves Big T. And we can see that Devin and Nam are still in this game when that happens. We move on to Cam and Corey in the kitchen, and Cam says, I play an honest game and you don't. And the next scene is Kyle on the couch like, We've seen him play both sides of the house. He's playing, saying like, oh, well, I'm with Cam and her side, but then he's over with the rookie girls being like, we gotta save Gabby, we've gotta save Amba M, and we have to do all this stuff. So to me, he's trying to do some sneaky stuff behind Cam's back, and that's when Cam is like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, that's why I don't think they're going to be lasting too much longer in the game. In the crater of some elimination, maybe something shady happens, and man, TJ with that grin. We have Josh, Nani, Leroy, Casey, Anissa, Fessy. It seems that they're all still partnered up with each other at this point. And then we move on to TJ saying, no one is in the finals and everyone is flabbergasted. And then we have this shot of Big T and CT up at the double agent spot. So they win a daily challenge later down the line. And maybe this is the point where CT's like, I'm gonna throw myself in. Amber B here says, I don't have my skull yet, but she is clearly going down to the elimination floor. Kyle, we heard him say in episode 9 that to Corey, I'm not going back down again, but look, he's back, he's going back down. He's gonna be going into an elimination. It looks like he's gonna wear a helmet. Maybe it's the second coming of the hall brawl. Maybe he's gonna be thrown in there. And he also says, I just wanna watch the headquarters burn. Maybe this is the point where he's gonna try to double cross Cam. And now Cam is gonna send him back down to the elimination or get him sent down to an elimination during a guy's day. Here's Amber B, and it looks to be like she's gonna be in a hall brawl. And from my other breakdowns, I feel like I know who she's going up against in the hall brawl. If you did not watch my shot-for-shot breakdown of the super trailer, go check that out. Then here we have Darrell going into the elimination that it looks to be like the one that Devin and Wes went up against each other, where it looks to be like Looper, and they have to touch that button. We have Nani here doing what looks to be a pole wrestle with a ring. Maybe this is the one that Kyle and Joseph Allen went up against each other in. Big T looks to be doing fire escape, so we're gonna get another round of fire escape. We have Corey in that eating challenge, and he throws up. I did not want to subject anybody else to his vomiting. We have Devin and Gabby in this daily challenge. This is the one where they have the helicopter with the ropes hanging down, and they're gonna have to hold on to it as far as they can. This is the scuba dive daily challenge. I think this is Fessy. I see a Y on the right side of the helmet, and then I think I see an F on that side. So I think this is Fessy diving down. We do see Leroy in the super trailer doing this daily challenge as well. We saw Fessy in the same kind of outfit with the spelunking light on the helmet. So to me, I think this could be Casey maybe. Then here we have everyone in those giant metal balls, and we can see definitively Leroy and Casey are still partnered up with each other in this daily challenge. We have another fight between Lolo and Nam, where Lolo says, I want a guy who accepts me for who I am. Makes it sound like more of a relationship thing rather than a game strategy thing, and Nam is just walking off frustrated. We have finally Fessy and Gabby making out. Will we see this kiss happen this season? I don't know. I'm still waiting for Fessy's. We're starting off this season with a bang. I should mention during that scene, we hear Gabby's voiceover saying, I don't know if I can trust anyone in here. Now we have Leroy talking, saying, no one is going to be honest. It's a double agent game. I have a feeling he's talking to Cam. We're gonna have an 80s themed party, and we get to see CT getting in Fessy's face. This seems to be like the boiling point for everyone. We have Anissa still here, Cam is still in the game, Nani is still in the game, Casey is the one right behind Fessy here. Fessy and CT going at it. Maybe they're wondering who wore the better headband. I don't know. We have Gabby and CT, and Gabby is saying, you definitely have a punchable face, and the next time we turn around, Devin is the one on camera, so maybe she's talking to Devin, and now their partnership is coming to a head. Maybe Gabby and Devin are going to want to try to take each other out, because we do see in the eating challenge in the super trailer, Corey and Gabby are partnered up with each other, so maybe she tries to get Devin sent in down in the floor. Maybe one of the guys like Darrell or somebody are wanting to target Devin, take his gold skull, and that's when Gabby is going to be partnered up with Corey possibly, which that is not a good sign for Gabby. Then we have Corey saying, I deserve to be in the finals. To me, if I'm looking at this, hearing what he's saying in this shot, my thought process is that he has already gone down to the crater floor, got his gold skull, and now they're in the deliberation, and they're trying to figure out what guy to send down into one of the later eliminations of the season, maybe right before the finals, and he's trying to be like, look, I deserve to be in the finals. I don't deserve to be sent into the next elimination right before the finals to possibly lose my shot of getting into the finals. We have a Jeep that looks to be driving everyone out to the middle of nowhere. I feel as though that this is definitely in the finals, as we see multiple shots back to back to back to back to back. We have this dark cave. I think this is the daily challenge. I don't know if this is possibly the final. Then we move into this shot. We see them walking through this shot right here. They're walking down a long path with each other. To me, this is all the finals, and this is too hard to see anybody from very far away, but it looks to be like they are going to be doing a lot of walking in these finals. We have Amber B saying, I'm going to put myself in everything and anything to get there. And then the final shot is Nani saying, like, what am I doing here? As she is like completely breaking down. And that's it with the Double Agents logo. That is all of the trailer. I have to say, I did not see a ton of Amber M. I didn't see much of Lolo or Nam, Josh, Devin that much, Darrell, which is very scary, or really Anissa. So we have to keep our eyes on those competitors. But now let's move on to this week's comment section. Now let's look at some of the comments from my Thursday's review and recap video, and the first comment comes from Connor Upshaw, who says, Anissa at the end when she said, at first you get close to Corey, you get pregnant line was hilarious. I completely agree. It was one of the last lines of the episode, and it was golden. It was as golden as the skull that was given to Casey. The next comment comes from Padraig. I hope I'm not butchering that. But they say, it's so annoying they were doing true or false questions. The showrunners obviously think we like them falling in the water, but it's the stupid answers. 100% agree. Completely agree with this. And this one, you can still have like stupid questions or stupid answers because like Casey with the wolves being vegetarians and that kind of stuff, but it's not as gripping. And I think it's that they wanted to have more sabotages between everyone. So they wanted more sabotages to be given to other people. So that's why they like the idea of true or false questions, because they're more apt to get the questions right and then give the sabotage to somebody else, which again, I'm not even that fond of sabotaging people in trivia challenges. The next comment comes from 674-99132. Delighted for Darrell, but poor Nam. Bless. He's always a bridesmaid and never the bride. After essentially 2 close second places, hopefully he can win a daily challenge and get his skull. This was a bit more heartbreaking just because he did get there. He was in the running and he was praying. He was praying in line. Granted, it was a Women's Day, so he wouldn't have gotten his skull this week. He would have been more helpful to Lolo. I think Nam coming into the next couple of daily challenges, I hope he wins at least once. The next comment comes from Barbara, who says, it was nice to hear more Teresa's PPD when talking to Corey. I can understand why she's kind of gave up in the elimination. She knew she was going to go in every time until she went home. That's exactly it. I did like that moment as well. It kind of had like a weird tone with Corey a bit, because Corey in the beginning of the episode, they were trying to make it seem like he was on Teresa's side. He was kind of buying into their partnership. That's why he wanted to learn more about her and ask questions. But by the time we got to the elimination, he's just like, I'm not gonna root for her. I want her out of this game. It was a weird tonal shift that they did in this edit with Corey. But I did like to get a little bit more vulnerability with Teresa. I think we got to see another side of her. And I think that it just plays into the hand of that she did kind of mentally check out of this game, that she really wanted to be with her family, especially with the final words where she said that this was her final season, that she misses her family too much. And then in the aftermath with Darrell and Corey, like saying, hey, she was checked out. And once you're checked out, even just a little bit within this game, you're done. And I think we did see that in the elimination. The next comment comes from Pierre Zena, who says, Teresa came back and did her thing. She put on a show for us, and she deserves props for that. Being 34, going through 2 pregnancies, and still playing with no fear and doing well in challenges, respect. I think that you have to give Teresa respect. After taking 10 seasons off and then coming back and really shaking up this game. I mean, when she and Jay got into power, that was the liveliness of this game. That's when everything started to shake up. That's when people were like, okay, now we have a reason to go after people. This is the reason why we should push to win this so we can throw them into the eliminations. I do like that she was on this season. She played a good villain, and she did great for somebody that took 10 seasons off, coming back and doing her thing. She wanted to make some moves, she wanted to make a splash, and she did it. The next comment comes from Isaiah, who says, hey, now that Teresa is gone, do you think Casey is Cam's biggest obstacle competition-wise and final-wise? I do think so. Casey got second place last season, and I also think that if Casey and Leroy stay partnered up with each other into the finals and somehow make it into the finals together, I don't think there's going to be that much animosity between Cam and Casey, because basically Cam and Leroy are trying to divide and conquer these finals. So with them really not trying to go head to head, but really one of them, if one of them wins, they both win type of feel, I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem. But I do think that Cam and Casey right now are the biggest threats to each other. And the final comment comes from David, who says, I need Leroy to be my coach. His commentary on the sidelines definitely contributed to Casey staying motivated. What a great partner. I completely agree. I think throughout his challenge career, we've seen Leroy be a great partner to his partners. I remember hearing him really like beefing up, say, Naomi in Battle of the Exes when they were put into the eliminations, and I think this just showed that he was really believing in Casey and wanting to see her succeed, and also trying to show her like, hey, I have your back no matter what. So when you win this elimination, don't go for anybody else, because I have your back and we can win this thing together. That's why I'm rooting for you. So I love hearing Leroy out there cheering on his partner, wanting to see her succeed, and then I was happy to see Casey stay with Leroy. But that is it for this video. What'd you think about the mid-season breakdown and review? Let me know that in the comment section below. What'd you think about the accolades? What'd you think about the grades? What are your grades for the daily challenges so far in this season? Let me know that in the comment section below as well. Thank you so much for watching. While you're down there, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge 36 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.